Maya, are you coming, or should I start dinner without you? I called, peeking into the living room where she sat scrolling through her phone. I'll be there in a sec, she replied without looking up. Her voice sounded casual, but there was that subtle edge I didn't notice at first. I shook my head, smiling. You always say that. You're going to make me starve. She laughed lightly, that perfect laugh I used to melt for. You exaggerate. I'm only a minute away. I leaned against the doorway, watching her. You know, sometimes I feel like you're in your own little world. Maya glanced up, raising an eyebrow. Am I? Or maybe you're just imagining things. I chuckled. Maybe I don't know. I like being here with you. You like being here? Or you like me? She teased, nudging me with her shoulder. Both, I admitted, grinning. Don't make me choose. Her smile softened, and she looked down at her phone again. You never make me choose. I sighed and leaned over the couch, resting my chin on my hand. We're lucky, aren't we? Most people fight all the time. We just get along. Most people are boring, she said softly, almost to herself. Then she looked up at me. You make life interesting. I felt warmth spread in my chest. I try, I said, laughing. But honestly, life's easy with you. There was a knock at the door. That's probably Armin, I said, standing. He's been wanting to talk about the project again. Maya rolled her eyes playfully. You and your work. Can't you ignore him for 5 minutes? I smiled. Not really. He's persistent. I opened the door to Armin, who grinned. Hey man, ready to crush this assignment? Yeah, let's do it, I said, ushering him in. Maya gave me a small wave, and I noticed a faint hesitation in her eyes. I shrugged it off. As we talked, I realized how lucky I felt to have both Maya and Armin in my life. I trusted Armin completely. He was my friend, always there for me. But sometimes, I wondered if he really understood us, or if he even noticed the subtle changes in Maya lately. You guys are too serious, Maya said, joining us at the table. Can't we just have fun for once? I laughed. Fun? With Armin around? Armand smirked. I'm a lot of fun, trust me. Maya rolled her eyes again, and I felt that same warmth seeing her playful side. But then something shifted. I couldn't put my finger on it. It was subtle, a glance, a tone, a hesitation. Did I say something wrong? I asked, frowning slightly. No, of course not, she said quickly, smiling again. I'm fine. I nodded, but the feeling lingered. I told myself I was imagining things. I trusted her. I trusted us. That night, as we planned our weekend trip, Maya leaned against me. I love that we do this together, she whispered. I love it too, I said, holding her hand tightly. Always, she smiled but didn't squeeze my hand back. I didn't notice then, but that was the first crack in what I thought was unbreakable. Later, alone, I texted Armin about the trip. He responded enthusiastically, joking, teasing. I laughed, thinking how perfect everything was. Looking back, I realize now how small hints of tension were everywhere, her distracted texts, his lingering comments, but I ignored them. I wanted the illusion of perfection. Everything's perfect, I whispered to myself before going to sleep, holding the warmth of her hand in my memory. Little did I know, the storm was already brewing just beyond the horizon. Maya, we need to talk, I said, my voice shaking as I leaned against the doorway. She looked up from her phone slowly, like she had been expecting this moment. About what? She asked casually, almost too casually. About us. About everything, I replied, trying to keep my voice steady. Something feels wrong. She sighed, standing up and facing me. I think we should take a break. What? My stomach dropped, and I could feel my hands trembling. A break? Why? I need some space to figure things out, she said, avoiding my eyes. I can't do this right now. Figure things out? With who? I demanded, my voice rising. Do you mean with someone else? No, it's not like that, she said quickly, but her hesitation betrayed her. I need time. I ran my hands through my hair, frustration and fear colliding inside me. Time? After everything we planned? After everything we said? Maya looked down, silent for a moment, then whispered, I'm sorry. Sorry. That's it? Just sorry? I felt my chest tighten. Maya, I trusted you. I loved you. And this is how you repay me? I didn't mean to hurt you, she said softly, almost pleading. I need to think. Think? Or is it him? I asked, my voice cracking. Armin? She flinched slightly and I saw it. He's just a friend, she said too quickly. You're imagining things. Am I imagining things? I pressed, stepping closer. The way you talk to him, the way you smile at him, it's not just friendship. Tell me it is. I don't know, she admitted, her voice barely audible. I just feel different. My heart pounded. Different how? Tell me. Because I can't breathe thinking you've already moved on. I'm not trying to hurt you, she said, tears forming in her eyes. I never wanted this. I trusted you. I trusted both of you. I shouted, pacing the room. And you, Armin, you knew this was happening, didn't you? Armin stepped forward from the corner where he had been quietly listening. Tu didn't mean for it to happen this way, he said, his voice low but firm. You didn't mean for it to happen? I turned to him, disbelief and fury mixing together. You encouraged it. You were smiling at her texts, laughing at her jokes. You knew exactly what you were doing. I didn't see it as betrayal, he said, almost defensively. I thought maybe she needed someone. Someone? You're supposed to be my friend, I yelled. My friend doesn't push my girlfriend into their arms behind my back. Maya's tears were falling freely now. I'm sorry, she whispered again. I didn't mean for it to hurt you like this. I thought I needed him more than anyone else right now. I laughed bitterly, a sound full of disbelief and heartbreak. Needed him more? After everything we shared? After the plans, the promises? You needed him more than me? I didn't know how to say it, she stammered. I didn't want to ruin everything. I didn't want to hurt you. But you did, I said, my voice low and cutting. You ruined everything. You destroyed me, Maya. And you, Armin, you were supposed to be my brother in this life. How could you? I didn't think it would go this far, Armin said quietly. I didn't think you'd react like this. I shook my head, feeling dizzy. React like this. I trusted you both. I shared my heart with you, Maya, and you just threw it away like it meant nothing. And you, Armin, you watched it happen. You didn't stop it. You became a part of it. I'm sorry, he said, but his words sounded empty to me. I fell onto the couch, my hands over my face. Sorry doesn't fix anything. It doesn't bring back what I lost. It doesn't erase the betrayal. Maya knelt in front of me, reaching for my hand. Please don't hate me completely. I still care about you. I pulled my hand away sharply. Care? You call this caring? You call lying, sneaking, and abandoning me caring? I don't know what else to say, she whispered, her voice cracking. I never wanted it to end like this. Well, it ended, I said, standing up, voice trembling with rage and heartbreak. It ended the moment I realized everything I believed in was a lie. And you, I pointed at Armin, you're not my friend. Not anymore. You were supposed to protect me, not destroy me. Armin looked down, guilt and shame on his face. I don't care what you didn't think. I shouted, my anger finally boiling over. You should have thought. You should have remembered loyalty, friendship, honesty. Maya's eyes were filled with tears, and for a moment, I thought I saw regret. But it was too late. Too late for apologies, too late for explanations. I turned toward the door. I need to breathe. I need space from both of you. I can't do this right now. Please don't leave like this, Maya begged. I have no choice, I said firmly, my voice breaking. I need to find myself again without the lies, without the betrayal. I walked out, leaving them in silence. And as the door closed behind me, I realized just how naive I had been. I had trusted them. I had loved blindly. And now I had nothing but the bitter taste of betrayal. I sat at my desk, staring at the blank screen, trying to convince myself that work could distract me, but every word I typed felt empty. Hey, you okay? A soft voice interrupted my thoughts. I looked up to see Sarah holding a cup of coffee. Her brown eyes were gentle, and she hesitated before placing it on my desk. I'm fine, I muttered, though the lie felt heavy in my throat. Uh-huh, she said, raising an eyebrow. You've been fine for 3 days straight. That's suspicious, I rubbed my face. Maybe I just need a break, that's all. She leaned against the desk. A break? From work or life? Both, I admitted quietly. Life feels weird right now. Sarah didn't respond immediately. She just sat there waiting. Do you want to talk about it? She asked gently. I don't know if I should, I whispered, staring at the keyboard. It's complicated. Try me, she said softly. You can't keep bottling it up forever, I sighed. I thought I knew someone I trusted, and then everything just fell apart. Maya. Her name burned my tongue. I thought I could rely on her, and I guess I was wrong. I trusted her. I trusted him too, I muttered, shaking my head. Armin, I thought he was my friend. I thought I had people who cared about me. Sarah nodded slowly. Sounds like you got blindsided. I did, I said, my voice low. Completely. I keep replaying everything. The smiles, the laughs, were they real? Was any of it real? Sometimes people hide who they really are, she said quietly. Doesn't make it your fault. I wanted to believe her, but it was hard. It feels like my fault, I admitted. Like I missed every sign. Maybe I'm just stupid for trusting them. Not stupid, she corrected gently. You were human. You cared. You loved. That's not a weakness, I laughed bitterly. It feels like one. Sarah smiled softly. I get it. Pain makes everything feel heavier. But you don't have to carry it alone. I don't know if I can open up to anyone, I said honestly. I don't even want to talk to friends. They just pity me or judge me. Sarah leaned a little closer. Not me, I just want to make sure you're okay. That's it. No judgment, I studied her face. There was sincerity there and a warmth I hadn't felt in days. Thanks, I said quietly. It means more than you know. She nodded, giving me a small smile. If you ever need to talk, I'm here. Don't disappear completely. I won't, I promised, though I wasn't sure if I meant it. Later, as I tried to focus on work, my mind kept drifting. I saw Maya's face, her subtle smirk, the way she avoided my eyes when I asked questions. Armin's smug grin haunted me too. Dude, you've been quiet all day, my colleague Kamal said as he passed by. Everything cool? I forced a smile. Yeah, just tired. He raised an eyebrow but didn't press further. Most people didn't notice when I withdrew. They only saw silence as calm, but I felt anything but calm. At lunch, I sat alone, staring at the empty seat opposite me. I imagined Maya there, smiling, laughing. I imagined Armin cracking a joke and the two of them sharing glances I hadn't seen before. Hey, can I join you? Sarah asked, holding her tray. I nodded. Sure. She sat down quietly, not pushing for conversation. Just being there felt comforting. You okay? She asked after a while. I shrugged. I keep thinking about what went wrong. About trusting the wrong people, about everything. Sarah nodded again. Pain makes you think in circles. But it's how you process it. Eventually, you'll find clarity. I wanted to believe her. I don't know if I can trust anyone anymore. Even myself, you will, she said softly. It just takes time. And sometimes it helps to have someone by your side, even if it's just listening. I looked at her, the words sinking in. I appreciate that, I whispered. I really do. Anytime, she said, smiling gently. You're stronger than you think. You'll get through this. I wanted to hold on to that thought, to believe it, but the weight of betrayal pressed down hard, and I couldn't shake the feeling that my heart was broken into pieces that might never fit back together. I don't even know who I am anymore, I said quietly. Everything feels wrong. You'll find yourself again, Sarah said softly. It's just a matter of time and patience, and you won't be alone forever. I nodded, staring at my empty tray. Silence settled between us, but it wasn't heavy this time. It was a small comfort, a reminder that maybe, just maybe, I could survive this heartbreak. Yet deep down, I knew I had miles to go before I could truly trust again. I thought you'd at least text her, Raffi said, watching me pack my old books into a box. I'm done texting ghosts, I muttered. He frowned. Ghosts? Maya. She's alive, but not for me. The words felt strange coming out, too calm for how they should have sounded. I taped the box shut, pressed the edge flat, and stood up. You're seriously leaving? He asked. Yeah, I said. A month from now, I'll be gone. Maybe sooner, he blinked. Gone where? Anywhere but here, he exhaled sharply. So that's it? You're running away? Running? I laughed quietly. No, I'm walking away before I start begging for the same knife that already cut me. The silence stretched. I could hear the ceiling fan groaning above us, pushing warm air around like an exhausted witness. Raffi finally said, They think you'll break. I know, I replied. They're betting on it, man. Armin told Fahad you'll crawl back within a week, I smirked. Good, let him bet everything he's got. He'll lose, like always. I didn't tell Raffi how badly my hands still shook every time I saw Maya's name flash on my phone, how every notification made my chest tighten like a wound reopening. I just went back to sorting through my things, old photos, clothes, memories that no longer fit. You're really serious about leaving the country? Rafi asked again. I applied for a transfer to our Dubai branch. HR said it's possible, and if it isn't, then I'll find something else. I'm not staying where everything smells like her perfume. He stared at me, probably expecting me to fall apart again, but I didn't. Not this time. That night, I called my mother. Beta, are you sure about this? She asked softly. Yeah, Ami, I just need a change. Because of her? I sighed. Partly. But mostly because of me. I don't like who I've become. She paused, then said, sometimes leaving is not running away. It's remembering who you were before the storm. Her words sat with me long after we hung up. At work the next day, Sarah noticed me emptying my desk drawers. Planning an escape? She teased lightly. Something like that, I said. You're quitting? Transferring, hopefully. To where? Dubai, maybe longer term. I need to start over. She tilted her head. Because of Maya? I gave a wry smile. You're not subtle, are you? Not when I care, she said. For a moment, I wanted to tell her everything. The betrayal, the silence, the way I'd begged the universe for a sign that she'd come back. But I just said, let's call it self-preservation. Sarah crossed her arms. You'll miss the office gossip. We just got a new intern who types louder than thunder. I'll survive. Promise you'll stay in touch? Maybe, I said, smiling faintly. Or maybe I'll disappear entirely. Reinvent myself somewhere nobody knows the fool I've been. She frowned. You're not a fool. You're just healing the hard way. Her words hit deeper than I wanted to admit. I looked away. After work, I went home and opened the storage closet. One by one, I pulled out things I no longer needed. Her favorite coffee mug, the Polaroid she gave me, the hoodie she always stole. I placed them in a cardboard box labeled Donate. It wasn't about forgetting her anymore. It was about reclaiming space she'd occupied without permission. The next week, I met with my manager. You've been one of our most consistent employees, he said, scanning my application. Dubai's not an easy adjustment. I'm not looking for easy, I replied. Just different, he nodded. All right, I'll recommend your transfer. Walking out of his office, I felt lighter. Not happy, just less suffocated. That evening, Armin texted for the first time since the breakup. Armin, heard you're planning to leave? Bro, don't do anything stupid. She's just confused. I stared at the message, then typed back, me. Tell her I'm done being part of her confusion. I deleted the chat right after. No hesitation. Later that night, I sat on the balcony, the city lights flickering like fading memories. Rafi joined me with 2 cups of chai. So what'll you do there? He asked. Work? Sleep? Breathe? I said simply. He chuckled. Sounds boring. Peaceful, I corrected. He studied me for a second. You're not angry anymore. I still am, I admitted. But I've stopped feeding it. Anger keeps you tied to what hurt you. I'd rather cut the rope. He nodded slowly, and we sat there in silence, the night humming quietly around us. In that stillness, I realized something. I wasn't escaping Maya or Armin. I was escaping the version of myself that tolerated their chaos. For the first time in months, the air didn't feel heavy. My heart didn't ache, it just beat, steady, uncertain, alive. I whispered into the night, let them think I'm broken, because soon I'd be gone before they even realized I'd healed. I heard the knock before I saw her. My apartment door rattled softly, a sound that used to make my heart race with anticipation. Maya, I said calmly, opening the door. Hi. Her voice was hesitant, fragile. She expected tears, expected me to beg. She didn't know I'd changed. I stepped aside. Come in. She hesitated at the threshold. I wanted to see you before you leave. I nodded, gesturing to the living room. Sit! She perched on the edge of the couch, clutching her bag like it was a shield. I didn't mean for things to get so messy, she whispered. Didn't mean? I repeated, my voice quiet but firm. Maya, you broke me. You left me for him. Do you really think I didn't mean it covers that? Her eyes welled up. I thought I was confused and I didn't know how to... You didn't know how to be honest, I said sharply. You knew exactly what you were doing. She flinched, the first sign of real regret. I was scared, she admitted. Scared of hurting you more. Scared of losing everything I cared about. I didn't know how to handle it. And in the process, you destroyed me, I said, standing now, voice steady. Do you have any idea how it feels to wake up every day knowing the person you trusted most betrayed you? Tears slipped down her cheeks. I didn't realize how much it would hurt. I thought maybe if I stayed close to him it would be easier, but I see now. It was selfish. I studied her face. For the first time, I saw not just the manipulator, but someone human, imperfect, scared, short-sighted. But no excuses would erase what happened. Maya, I said softly, pacing a little. I used to think love meant forgiving everything. I used to think love meant waiting, hoping, believing. But I don't anymore. She shook her head, trembling. Please don't go with hate. Please. I still care about you. Hate? I scoffed lightly. I don't hate you. I pity the choices you made. That's different. I pity the way you thought betraying someone could be justified. She flinched again, and I could see the confusion in her eyes. You're not crying? No, I said simply. I'm not begging. I'm not pleading. I'm done being the boy who falls apart at your every whim. I've learned something important, Maya. My worth doesn't depend on you realizing it. She bit her lip, trying to hold back more words, more excuses. I really thought we were perfect, she said softly, almost as if confessing a secret to herself. We were never perfect, I replied calmly. We were real, and real means seeing each other clearly. I ignored the signs and I paid for it. But I won't pay anymore. You're stronger than I thought, she whispered, a mixture of awe and shame in her voice. I've had to be, I said, sitting down across from her. You left me no choice. Betrayal teaches lessons fast, Maya. Harsh ones. I won't waste my life waiting for someone who's already chosen someone else. She looked down, silent. The first real humility I'd seen in months. I wish I could take it back. I shook my head. You can't. You made your choices. I made mine, and mine is to leave before the memory of you poisons who I am. I'm not running from you. I'm running toward myself. She swallowed hard. I didn't know you felt so different. I do, I said softly, almost to myself. I've realized my life is mine. I don't need your validation, your affection, or your presence to survive. I don't need your apologies to move forward. She blinked rapidly. I don't know what to say. Then don't, I said. Silence is fine. I just needed you to see me as I am now. Not the broken boy you left behind. Not the fool who loved blindly. I'm stronger. I'm done hoping you'll come back. I've come back to myself instead. She exhaled, a shaky breath, looking both devastated and enlightened. I see that now. I really do, I nodded once. Good, that's all I needed. Closure, not comfort. Understanding, not forgiveness. You'll live with your choices, and I'll live with mine. We're finally on the right paths, just apart. Maya lowered her gaze. I hope you find happiness. Truly. I will, I said, voice steady, resolute. And maybe someday you'll learn what you lost. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but you'll understand. She remained silent, the weight of regret heavy in her posture. I could see her complexity now. Not purely selfish, not purely cruel, but human, flawed, short-sighted, and remorseful. I stood up, straightening my shoulders. I have to go pack. I leave soon. There's no room for this anymore. Not tears, not apologies, not memories that chain me down. She nodded, silent, finally accepting the truth. I walked toward the door. Before stepping out, I turned back once. Goodbye, Maya, take care of yourself. But don't expect me to come back. That chapter is closed. Her eyes glistened, her lips parted as if she wanted to say more, but no words came. I didn't wait. I closed the door gently but firmly, leaving her in silence, and as I stood alone, I realized I wasn't sad anymore. I wasn't pleading. I was free. For the first time since the betrayal, I felt the power shift entirely. My life, my choices, my heart, my future, back in my hands. The plane touched down, and the hum of the engines fading made my heart feel heavier than the luggage I carried. Alone, in a city that didn't speak my language, I realized how small I'd become. First time here? A voice asked suddenly. I turned to see a man with a warm smile holding a coffee cup. Yeah, I said, forcing a smile. I'm Liam, he said, extending a hand. Lost or just looking like it? Both, I guess, I admitted, shaking his hand. His grip was firm, reassuring. Follow me, he said, and I did. Somehow trusting a stranger felt safer than thinking of Maya or Armin. The streets were crowded, noisy, full of colors and smells that made me dizzy. How do people survive here? I muttered. Liam laughed. They get used to it. You will too. First day is always chaos. I nodded, but my chest felt tight. Every turn reminded me of the life I'd left behind. The betrayal, the heartbreak. You're quiet, Liam said. Not like a tourist taking pictures at every corner. You okay? I'm learning to be, I said carefully. It's hard. Everything's new. Everything's different, he smiled knowingly. Change is like that. But it's also what you need. Trust me, I've been there. We walked through the market, vendors shouting, smells of spices, bread, and roasted nuts filling the air. I bought nothing, just observed, trying to absorb the life around me. Here, Liam said, handing me a pastry. Eat, you'll feel better. I hesitated, then took a bite. Warmth spread through my hands and chest. Small comfort, but enough. So why are you really here? He asked casually, as if he didn't notice my pause. I swallowed hard. Needed to start over. Away from some people. Ah, he said, nodding. New city, new rules, new chance. I like it. I hope it works, I muttered. I'm tired of hurting. Tired of losing myself. You'll find yourself, he said simply. It doesn't happen overnight, but it will. I looked at him, the sincerity in his eyes striking me. Maybe I wasn't completely alone. Over the next days, Liam showed me the city. Hidden cafes, quiet parks, streets with walls covered in murals. Every laugh we shared felt like a tiny victory, every wrong turn a lesson learned. One afternoon he asked, So, are you starting to feel at home? Home? I echoed, staring at the unfamiliar skyline. I don't know. Not yet, but maybe a little. That's all you need right now, he said. A little. The rest will come, I nodded. It's strange, feeling small and big at the same time. Small because I'm alone, big because I get to make it on my own. Exactly, he said, smiling. Independence looks good on you. At night, I'd sit by my window, the city lights flickering below like tiny stars. I thought about the past, the lies, the heartbreak, the betrayal. Pain still lingered, but the sharp edge had dulled. Do you ever think about them? Liam asked one evening, appearing at my door with 2 cups of tea. Every day, I admitted, taking the cup. But not in a way that destroys me anymore. More, as a reminder of why I needed this. He nodded. Good. Remembering doesn't mean reliving. It means learning. I took a sip, savoring the warmth. Learning, yeah. I guess I'm learning to be okay alone. Learning to trust myself again. Liam grinned. And soon you'll learn to trust the world again, little by little. You'll meet people, make mistakes, laugh, maybe even fall a little in love with life again. I chuckled softly. I'm not ready for love. Not yet, but maybe life, yeah, exactly. Start small, he said. 1 street, 1 pastry, 1 laugh at a time. Walking back to my apartment that night, I felt lighter. The pain hadn't vanished, but the weight had shifted. I was no longer tethered to betrayal. I was tethered to possibility. The city sounded different now, less intimidating, more alive. Every step I took felt like a quiet assertion. I could survive. I could rebuild. I could thrive. I sat on the balcony, staring at the neon signs and distant traffic. 1 day at a time, I whispered. Just 1 day at a time, Liam waved from across the street. I waved back, a small smile tugging at my lips. For the first time in months, I felt like I could breathe freely. The past would always be there, but I was learning to carry it differently. Not as chains, but as lessons. Not as wounds, but as reminders. And slowly, I realized I was healing, not fully, not yet, but enough to begin living again. I hadn't checked my phone in hours, letting the city noises lull me into a rare calm. Then a notification pinged. Sarah? I muttered, unlocking it, not her. A message from Rafi, you won't believe this. Heard from Kamal, Armin's in trouble. I froze, thumb hovering over the screen. Trouble? What kind? Rafi, people are noticing. His arrogance. It's catching up. He's losing credibility at work, friends pulling away. Even Maya is... Well, she's regretting some things. I blinked, leaning back. The words should have ignited something else in me, maybe anger or glee, but all I felt was quiet. I texted back, me, thanks, that's Interesting, Raffi. Interesting? Come on, bro. Isn't this the kind of thing you were waiting for? I laughed softly, shaking my head. No, I don't wait for revenge. I don't need to watch them suffer. I don't need their failures to feel better. Raffi. Seriously? That's mature or insane. Maybe both, I said. A few days later, I scrolled social media, curiosity nudging me forward. A post popped up, Maya's account, a long caption about mistakes, regrets, and lessons learned. Photos of her smiling at work events, her caption dripping with nostalgia and sorrow. I read every word, feeling nothing but observation. She was hurting, yes. Maybe she was realizing what she lost. But I didn't care to respond, didn't care to comment. Her consequences were hers to live with. Later, another message from Raffi. Raffi. Armin's been kicked off a big project. His arrogance finally caught up. Karma's brutal. I closed my eyes. I'd imagined scenes like this before, fantasized about confrontation, imagined myself standing tall while they stumbled. But now, from across the world, the news felt muted. The power wasn't mine. The victory wasn't mine to claim. I had moved beyond the need for active revenge. I'm glad they're learning the hard way, I whispered to myself. But I don't need to watch, Sarah called that evening. Hey, she said softly. How's it going? You've been quiet today. I've been reflecting, I said. Some news from home. People facing consequences. Karma, I guess, she paused. Does it bother you? Not really, I admitted. It used to. I used to want to intervene, to fix it for myself. But I've realized their downfall isn't mine to manage. My growth, my escape, that's enough. Sarah laughed lightly. Look at you all philosophical. I like it. Philosophical or tired, I said. Maybe both, I just don't want the past to pull me back. Over the next week, Raffi continued sending updates. Raffi. Maya's been avoiding social gatherings. People are gossiping about her. She's realizing she burned bridges. Raffi. Arman tried to smooth things over, but no one's listening. His arrogance is finally biting him. I read each message carefully, feeling detached. Relief that justice was unfolding naturally, yes, but no glee, no schadenfreude. I wasn't the same boy who would have celebrated or plotted. One evening, I received a handwritten letter, unexpected from an unknown sender. I opened it carefully, heard you left. Just wanted you to know some things are finally catching up. Not that it matters to you now, but some people are realizing their mistakes. Stay strong. Live well. I smiled faintly, sliding it into my drawer. The words were indirect, small, almost meaningless. Yet they carried a weight of closure. The universe or karma or life itself was balancing the scales. I didn't need to touch it. Later that night, I messaged Sarah. It's strange. Watching from afar, everything falling into place. I thought I'd feel powerful, but all I feel is quiet. Sarah, quiet is good. Means you're free. Means you're past it. I nodded, even though she couldn't see me. Quiet. That's what it was. No anger, no obsession. No need for active revenge. I was free because I had chosen growth over retaliation. The city outside my window hummed with life. People walking, laughing, living their moments. I realized that was all I needed, to exist fully, to reclaim myself, to let the past resolve itself without interference. Later, another social media post. This time, someone else tagged me. A comment about how life had taught some people harsh lessons. I scrolled past it without stopping. Curiosity had no hold. Observation was enough. Some lessons are better learned alone, I murmured. I spent the evening reflecting. Their arrogance crumbling, their regret settling in like dust. It was natural. Karma, perhaps. Life correcting itself. But I wasn't a player in that story anymore. I was writing mine in a foreign city, learning independence, strength, patience. I took a deep breath, feeling the weight lift even more. Watching from a distance was different than living it. Detachment, not indifference, gave me power. Not over them, but over myself. By the time night fully descended, I felt a strange peace. No celebrations, no satisfaction in others' pain, just calm. I realized I was no longer the boy who needed revenge to feel alive. I was someone stronger, someone healed slowly, someone unshaken. Karma would unfold as it would. I had no role but witness. And that was enough. The sun rose over the city, spilling golden light through my apartment window. I sipped my coffee, feeling it warm my hands, but more importantly, warming something inside me that had been frozen for months. Liam appeared at the door, smiling as always. "Morning. Ready for another adventure?" "Depends," I said, setting my mug down. "Adventure or survival?" He laughed, shaking his head. "Both if you want it." "Life doesn't separate them," I nodded, appreciating his presence. Not because I needed distraction, but because he reminded me that connection could be healthy, uncomplicated. "So," he said, leaning against the doorframe, "you look different, calm, stronger." I chuckled softly. "I guess I am. Every step, every wrong turn, every heartbreak led me here. I've learned to breathe without fear of the past suffocating me." "You've really changed," he said, eyes bright. "I can see it in your posture, your voice. You're not running anymore, are you?" "No," I said. "I ran once, yes. From pain, from betrayal. But now I'm moving forward. Not away from anything, but toward myself," he smiled, clearly proud. "Good. That's the kind of growth most people never achieve." I laughed quietly. "Growth comes at a cost. Pain teaches what comfort never will." He raised his eyebrows. Philosophical again. "I like it." We walked through the city streets, the hum of life around us comforting instead of overwhelming. Vendors shouted, children laughed, the air smelled of spices and bread. I felt rooted, a part of the world again, not a ghost trapped in memory. "Do you ever think about them?" Liam asked casually. "Maya? Arman?" I nodded. "Sometimes. But not in the way that hurts me. More like understanding that everything happens as it should. Their choices are theirs. My life was mine. That's impressive," he said. "Most people your age would still be stuck in anger or grief." "I used to be," I admitted. Anger was my companion for weeks, months. I replayed every betrayal, imagined revenge, and I felt powerless. But moving doesn't mean forgetting. It means reclaiming control over your own heart. We stopped at a small cafe, one Liam had discovered last week. The owner waved at him, already knowing our orders. The familiarity felt like a soft hug, like life approving my decision to stay here, to build something new. Over coffee, we talked about work, the city, small victories, finding the perfect street for a quiet run, discovering a shop with books I couldn't resist buying, tasting pastries that reminded me that pleasure could be simple and untainted. "You've really built a life here," Liam said, leaning back. "I think this place suits you." "I hope it does," I said quietly. "It's mine now. Every corner, every choice, every morning. It's all mine." I paused, thinking of Maya, the girl who had once seemed like my whole world. I realized I didn't feel the old ache anymore. Not fully. A faint shadow lingered, yes, but it wasn't pain, it was perspective. "Do you miss home?" Liam asked, casually sipping his tea. "Sometimes," I admitted, but not like I thought I would. "I don't miss the people who betrayed me. I miss the parts of myself I lost trying to please them." He nodded. "Makes sense. You're reclaiming yourself piece by piece." "Yes," I said, a small smile forming. "And I finally feel complete in my own way, independent yet open to new connections. Careful but not closed off," Liam grinned. "Careful is good. You've earned that." We left the cafe and walked along the river. The water sparkled under the afternoon sun, reflecting my own clarity. I realized I had stopped thinking about what I lacked and started noticing what I had: freedom, choices, strength. A text pinged on my phone. I glanced at it, expecting work or a minor message. It was from Sarah. "Sarah, you're glowing. Proud of you? Don't lose that strength." I smiled, feeling the warmth of genuine friendship from halfway across the world. I typed back, "Me, thanks. I won't." I've finally learned the hard way that self-respect is priceless. Liam nudged me, noticing my quiet smile. "Looks like someone's checking in on you from afar." "Yeah," I said. "Friends who care. People who don't complicate life with manipulation or betrayal." "Good," he said. "You deserve that. All of it." We continued walking, the breeze soft against my skin. I breathed it in fully, deeply, like inhaling freedom itself. "Do you ever think about love?" Liam asked casually. I laughed softly. "Not the kind that breaks you into pieces, but maybe the kind that builds you, strengthens you. I'm open to it someday. Just not yet. Not until I'm sure I can trust it won't destroy me." Wise, he said, smiling. Life's a journey after all. Yes, I said. A journey I almost wasted chasing people who never deserved me. But now, I'm traveling my own path. Every step intentional, every breath deliberate, every choice mine. We stopped on a small bridge, watching the sun dip toward the horizon. The sky blazed orange and pink. I felt something shift inside me. Peace, closure, empowerment. The past didn't weigh me down. The future didn't scare me. I had reclaimed my life, my heart, and my mind. You look happy, Liam said softly. I am, I admitted. Not perfect, not invincible, but whole in a way I never thought possible. Betrayal taught me. Escape gave me freedom. Healing made me strong, he smiled, clearly pleased. That's what I wanted to see. I looked at the water, thinking of every step. The heartbreak, the flight, the city, the friends, the strangers who became allies. Everything had led here. I didn't need to replace the past. I didn't need revenge, closure from others, or validation. I had achieved something far greater. Self-respect, freedom, and the courage to live fully. And as the sun disappeared beneath the horizon, painting the city in twilight, I whispered to myself, I'm ready. Ready for life, ready for everything, ready for me. For the first time in what felt like forever, I smiled fully, completely, because I had finally moved forward, stronger, free, alive.